Hey guys, Jacob here. This is another 1.8.3 build video for The Division. Before you guys say anything, yes, I know this is Classified Predator. I know it's really cheesy, but a lot of my friends wanted to see how it's built in 1.8.3, and I know it's not that complicated. It's a pretty simple build to make, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to make it if you don't know, but most players know this is more of a request from friends, so I'll get right into it and show you guys. As you guys can see, yes, I'm running 6-piece Predator with the house, the lightweight M4, and a cool-headed indeterminate pistol. First, I'll get over the weapons. So you guys can see 19.7 base damage, deadly, vicious, and card counter. The weapon mods are a pro sight with crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. An extended mag with crit chance, rate of fire, and magazine size. Originally, I wanted to use something like this, which is a crit hit damage extended mag to get a little bit more crit hit damage, but I wanted to have a little bit higher RPM, so I just went with the crit chance one instead. The small grip has crit damage, stability, and optimal range. Loud vent break has crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. You could use a suppressor, but it's very unnecessary since you're having tons of crits and you have max crit chance with this build, so you might as well run the loud vent break because you're just wasting crit chance at that point. Now I'll get into the secondary. The lightweight M4 is 17.6 base damage, deadly, vicious, and responsive. To unlock responsive, you're going to have it in the last talent slot, because if you have, for example, say vicious flipped with responsive, it will not be unlocked, which I'll show you guys right now. So you guys can see responsive requires 4,790 firearms, and I only have 4,111. So to get the bleed, you're going to have 9,000 stam, so you can't really get responsive, and you're going to want to go with vicious instead. But on an AR, you can definitely get it on here if you get it in the last slot. I'll go over the mods. So you guys can see the C79 scope with optimal range, crit chance, and headshot damage. Or my bad, crit hit damage, not headshot. You could get headshot, but the reason why I went with optimal range on this is because I wanted to have a little bit more range on this AR, because if people are running, you can shoot them in the back, or if they're running towards you, you can hit them from a good distance and bleed them before they get close to you. Now I'll go with the extended mag, crit chance, rate of fire, and magazine size. A small grip with stability, crit damage, and optimal range again. So that we have optimal range, you have 5%, you have an additional 4.50%. Loud vent break with headshot damage, crit chance, and crit hit damage. You could use something with the FDE suppressor, but I'm currently not using it on this build because the main primary weapon on this build is the house. Now I'll get into the pistol, which is what I've been using lately. You could use something like this, which is predatory and determined. Personally, I've been using the pistol a little bit more, but I think this might be a little bit better choice since it has predatory, and you're going to want to be smacking people while they're on the ground. But lately I've just been using this because it has a little bit more range than the sawed-off shotgun, and I can hit NPCs while they're a good distance away from me, and I can just get cool-headed off of them, and then if I kill them, I'll get determined procced, and it'll give me the skill cooldown by 7.50%. So that's why I use that. Now, the gear pieces. The chest piece is roll for stamina, 2,003 armor, 16,000 health, 6% enemy armor damage, and 56% ammo capacity. Now the mods are stamina crit chance, that's to get the max crit chance on your weapon. The mask is roll for crit chance, stamina, and disorient resistance. All the pieces except your gloves should be rolled for stamina, by the way. Let me tell you guys that now. The knee pads are rolled for crit damage, stamina, bleed resistance, disorient resistance, and damage to elites. The backpack is rolled for stamina, crit damage, and bleed resistance. I wish I had ammo capacity, but I only have the chest piece, so I think that's good enough. The mods are a stamina crit chance mod, and a pulse crit chance, and a first aid self heal. Now the gloves are SMG damage, crit chance, crit damage, and firearms. The holster is rolled for all stats, 4% crit chance, and a pulse crit chance mod. You guys are probably wondering why this is a first aid ally heal. That's just temporary because I cannot find the other pulse crit chance mod, so that's just there to fill the gap. So you're going to want to have all pulse crit chance mods if you can. That's for the AR on the pulse. But lately I've been running this with a group, so you could flip those with first aid self heal or something like turret damage if you want to run a flame turret or something, but it's all in your preference, whatever you want to do. Now I'll get into the abilities. So as you can see, I've been running a few things with this, but lately, since I've been running this in a team, I'm using the immune station and the booster shot. I'm usually using a pulse if no one else is using one, if everybody's running DPS. So that's when I use the pulse and have the 15% crit chance. It's only 13 now, but once you get the other mod, it'll be 15%. So that we have a pretty average pulse for your team, and you can hurt players a little bit more. You could use the heartbeat or the tactical scanner if you want to have a little bit more damage, but I'm using conceal, that way players can't find you and also they can't hit crits on you as well. the booster shot for the additional damage for your house, and the immune station for the Pred Bleed. Now the talents I'm using on this are Critical Save, use a med kit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. Shrapnel, apply bleed to any target, triggers a 30% chance per each target in a 10-meter radius. That's if someone's near each other, you can hit them with this and it will bleed them too. That way if there's 3-4 guys next to each other and they're all squatted up, you hit them with the bleed, this will hit them too, and it can drop 2 to 3 targets at a time, or all of them if they're squishy enough. Combat Medic uses to your allies to heal your teammates within 20 meters by 40%. So if you don't have decent skills, you can heal your teammates with this if they really need it. Also using Strike Back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. That's more for if you're almost dead and you hit your booster, you can hit someone with the extra damage and maybe bleed them or just kill them from raw damage. Now I'll get to the character sheet so you guys can see. The house I'm using, like I said, has Deadly and Vicious for the max crits and the max crit damage. So you guys can see 60% crit chance and 130 crit hit damage. You could get your crit hit damage up a little bit higher if you have a magazine, or if you have some of the legacy mods like some people do. I think I have one, but I don't know where it's at. I think it's like a scope that has a little bit more crit hit damage or some shit. But you could have that to get your crit hit damage up a little bit higher. The headshot damage is 62%. Stability is 2%, and the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. You guys will see the reload speed bonus gives you 20% extra, and you get the assault rifle damage bonus, and you'll get the SMG bonus by 28%. Damage to elites is 16%, and the enemy armor damage is 6%. I'll get into the survivability so you guys can see as well. Almost 600,000 toughness with 398,000 max health. You're probably thinking, wow, this build's probably pretty tanky. Well, if someone runs up on you with high DPS like a Banshee or Pred as well, so if they hit you with bleed, it's still going to hurt. If you get hit by Banshee, it's still going to hurt, or someone with a strong pulse, it's still going to hurt. For some reason, I feel a little bit squishier with this build other than some like my Banshee or my Lone Star. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me thinking I am, but I'm actually not. That's the max health. The health regeneration is 19,000, and the armor is 7,991. That's really about it for the build, guys. This was more of a request because a bunch of my friends wanted to see it, like I said. But that's really, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is get your stamina to 9,000, as you guys can see with the bonuses. I'll go through them real quick so you guys can read them. Hitting 10 shots without switching targets now applies the Predator mark, which is a bleed for 50% of damage already done. This does increase by every 3,000 stamina. So if you want to run, I guess, less, you could run 6,000, have a little bit higher firearms. I guess you could, but I think this is the best way to run Predator in this patch, which has pretty much been this way in every patch. But I usually don't use this build. I've been trying to switch it up and use something a little bit different, but a bunch of my friends wanted to see this, so I decided to make it for them to help them out how to build this set. Also, if you guys don't know how to build it and you need to know how to build it, then I guess this is out there for you. But that's really about it for the video. As always, I will catch you guys later.